Welcome to Day 4 of the Pioneer Startup Network Post Show. We're your hosts, Alexis Jennings and Lauren McNair.
We kicked off the morning with Yale Play for Real XR Lab and Quinnipiac Mega Grant Team. During this session, Game Design and Development Professor Greg Garvey was joined by Quinnipiac University students to discuss the funding and development of Augmented Gaming Reality Project. This teaches students about the targeted advertising influence on their purchasing decisions. Here's a recap of Garvey's session.
We recently revised our curriculum, and so we went beyond the initial 2 tracks of game design and game art, and we now allow concentrations in programming, game technology, game studies, game writing, business, audio, and most recently, we have a new course under development in esports. And for the past 5 years, we have been consistently rated by the Princeton Review among the top 50 game design programs in the United States. And also, we're going to discuss how we reassessed the delivery platform. And we originally, as mentioned earlier, designed for virtual reality. And so, as our listeners know, to achieve full immersion, the full immersive experience of virtual reality, a 3D world must be built. It's a simulation. A bulky headset is worn that completely blocks the view of the surrounding environment. And then there are considerations such as the deployment of headsets, the costs, hygiene, users need to learn the new user interface within the virtual world, and even, although we tend to downplay this a little bit, is insignificant VR motion sickness. And all these factors led us to reconsider virtual reality and take a look at augmented reality.
My lab is the Play for Real XR Lab, so we're really focused on using all of the extended reality, everything from virtual reality to augmented reality, in order to create these games that hopefully have a positive impact on adolescent health. And in my lab, we primarily work with schools. So our previous vaping prevention game was tested in schools, and that is generally our audience. So in discussing with the rest of the team how we plan to use this project in schools, they said, man, schools are not going to all have a fleet of 100 headsets. What if we take advantage of the fact that everyone has their own personal phone? So that got us started on this discussion of switching to phone-based augmented reality.
Next, Jeff Marshall, the founder and CEO of Ovation, a VR public speaking trainer that utilizes PC VR to give users analytics about their performance. In Marshall's sessions, Lessons Learned Building a VR Company, he highlighted the differences between a regular tech startup company compared to a VR company and how to navigate the VR industry.
Ovation is, strip away the analytics and some of the active training tools that I'll talk about here in a second. If you just had the high resolution headset on, looking out at an incredibly realistic virtual audience, that's compelling enough. In order to have this kind of patience, you need to have passion. For VR specifically. If I wanted to get rich quick, I would have quit VR in this company 3 years ago. So you need to love VR. You need to really, really love it. And if you don't, you need to be talking to friends and family about it, demoing it, dreaming about it. And if you don't, you'll burn out from the difficulty of developing for VR, since the tools to develop for VR are new and very bug-ridden, I would say. Difficulty finding talented developers who share the passion and patience that you do. Skepticism about a VR business from everybody you know, most likely. And the allure of building a business in an established industry that can scale faster. So scrappy, hardworking individuals have a unique advantage for the time being, just like in the early smartphone app days. One person can build a successful application.
To learn more about how to better connect and understand your target audience, let's hear some helpful tips from Joe Pilkovich with Empathy Map.
The best brands, products, and experiences are the ones that are able to connect with customers on a deep emotional level. Sometimes, though, this can be pretty difficult, especially if you don't know a whole lot about your audiences or what really matters most to them. Fortunately, though, there's a lot of really great tools that can help. One of our favorites, it's called an empathy map. An empathy map is a simple exercise that you can do either by yourself or with the team as a way to put yourselves in the shoes of your target audiences. You'll spend some time filling out each section of the map, unpacking what you believe your prospective customers think, feel, and do in the context of your brand surrounding their everyday lives. Ultimately, this is going to help you come up with some really solid ideas for what you believe their biggest pain points are, and what opportunities or content you can create that might delight them. From here, you can take this as a great starting point into your next brainstorming session, or go talk to some of these customers and validate your thinking. To get started, you can visit our toolkit at thinkforward.co and grab yourself a blank canvas to work with. Good luck.
Doug Brooks and Rob Cardarelli from Marketing Management Analytics covered industry benchmarks, case studies, and advanced analytic approaches for measuring, optimizing, and improving the value sports and in-game sponsorships delivered to brands globally.
So marketing mix modeling, though, the beauty of these models is that their goal is to get to a holistic view of all of the business drivers that can potentially influence a brand, right? It's not just marketing, it's operations factors, it's external factors, things like economic factors and weather. This year, it was how do we incorporate COVID in a model to represent the COVID impact? And these models also represent multiple sales channels and multiple markets, right? But the goal is to be able to control for all of the factors that drive the business so that you can properly attribute credit to areas of investment, such as marketing, such as pricing, such as promotions, and then use these models to optimize those activities on an ongoing basis.
We couple that with what we call sponsorship modeling. So sponsorship modeling is really another component that helps us quantify the impact on brand communications, on really driving loyalty and driving awareness and driving relevancy, which are key elements, to understanding brand equity. A sponsorship model is an input into the marketing mix model. So they're all unified. And that was one of the things that we were talking about at the beginning of the discussion is how do we take different approaches and unify them so that we can actually understand what is the immediate to the long-term effect on, brand through all of these different properties, and more importantly, across the portfolio.
This concludes day 4 of the Pioneer Startup Network. I'm Alexis Jennings with Lauren McNair. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to watch the last day of the Pioneer Startup Network tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Have a good night.